back to the Strong Mentality Podcast. Strong Mentality is in the building today. We have a special guest with us, Mr. Kevin Sykes. Thanks for being here, brother.
Man, my pleasure, man. My pleasure, bro.
Thank you, man. Kevin, man, I know we rap all the time, man, about how can we help other brothers, man. And this is one way that we can definitely help other brothers, man.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Me and you sitting down, just rapping, talking, man, putting some footage together, man, that other brothers can look at. Go back, rewind it, look at it again, whatever they want to do with it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, and the podcast is growing, man. I think more and more brothers are checking it out and getting into it, man. And even the women, they're allowing the men in their lives, hey, check out this podcast, Yeah. So it's good, man. Good platform, man.
Absolutely.
But yeah, if you don't mind, Kev, did you want to introduce yourself, man?
I'm Kevin. I appreciate the opportunity to be here, man. Like I told you, man, this is a great opportunity for me. I'm humbled to be here. I'm a dad to Ashley, a granddad to Ava, and a brother to several siblings.
I like it.
I love the Lord, man. I love God. I love His Word, man. And I'm about change, and I'm trusting God to be a change agent for Him, man.
I love that, bro.
Okay.
I love that. I love that for you, and I love that about you, bro.
Amen. Amen.
Sure enough, man. So Kev, man, how would you describe your childhood, man, growing up?
My childhood growing up, man, it was good. There was nurturing.
Okay.
Discipline. Had both of those in my life. Had good opportunities for growth and potential.
Okay.
It wasn't perfect because you live in a house with people who love God but still had imperfections.
Okay.
But it was good enough for me to be successful in life. I had a good foundation to leave home.
I love that. Did you grow up with your mother and your father, man?
I was fortunate to have both parents.
Okay.
And really took it for granted when I left home because I didn't realize what I had was become such a novelty, if you will, because I knew a lot of dudes didn't have both of those, but that's how I grew up.
Man, I was going to ask you, like, in your era, in that time, in the neighborhood that you grew up in, the community you grew up in, was it normal to have a mom and a dad, or was it normal to be in a one-parent household?
For me, it was normal to have both parents.
Okay.
This was in late 60s, early 70s.
Okay.
So it was abnormal for me to see. I had friends with one parent, but I also knew who their fathers were because their fathers came by.
Gotcha.
So two-parent households were my norm coming up.
Understood.
Yeah.
Understood, bro. So it's crazy, man. The neighborhood I grew up in, me and the fellas talk now, right? Like we could count how many dads was in the neighborhood.
Wow.
That's how few it was.
Right.
Everybody just didn't, the dad, and not to say that he wasn't present at times, like you say, even when he came by. But just to live in the neighborhood, we didn't have that many dads, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of moms, a lot of older brothers. I felt like, in our era, there was a lot of older siblings raising younger siblings.
Okay.
There's an older brother who looked out for you and make sure you had what you needed and all that kind of stuff, man. But as far as the dads, man, it was slim picking sometimes, man. And that's sad, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. Hey, so let me ask you this, man. Since you were so privileged to have both of them, how do you believe having your mom and your dad in your life help shape your decision making as an adult?
Great question. I think it came from a place of having different perspectives on the same things.
Okay.
And what I mean by that, my father came from a very large family.
Okay.
My mother was an only child.
Oh.
Church girl.
Okay.
And so they came from two different perspectives. So I was always able to get an opinion. They were always in agreement. I would say for the most part in agreement with our. Well, in front of us they were. And so, however, but there was always a tenderness to my mother, a gentleness with strength from my father.
Okay.
You understand?
Gotcha.
Because my father grew up in Richmond on the streets.
Okay.
My mom grew up in the church.
Okay.
So my father knew
they
the
was
streets.
from two different worlds.
Two different worlds.
Yeah.
Now, he ended up going to church and getting saved and everything. But what I'm saying is that he came up from a perspective where when we left home, when I was like military, whatever, he gave us practical wisdom.
Yeah.
Things like what to look for in the streets.
For sure.
My mom gave us perspective on what to look for in the streets, but from a different perspective.
Yes. I was gonna say, man, listening to that, I bet your mom taught your dad a lot of things that he didn't know, right? And I bet your dad taught your mom a lot of things that she didn't know.
I'm pretty sure that was the case. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure
because
that
it
was the
came
case.
from two different worlds,
Yeah,
man.
and I'm pretty sure there was some growing pains in both because
I'm sure it was.
we all used to the environments we're from,
That's right.
and we tend to adapt that to being reality. But when we meet someone else, we have to adapt their reality as well, adopt their reality. Should I say.
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
Exactly, man. You're so right about that, man. My wife, me and my wife, and we kind of, I guess we was raised similar, but from two different households, of course. And a lot of things we're able to articulate and talk about now because we've grown, you know.
Yeah.
But a lot of things she have taught me that I didn't know. And I thought I was raised well.
Right.
I thought my mom and dad did a great job. My brothers and sisters, I thought they did a great job with me. But, you know, some things my wife has taught me along the way, I'm like, man, I didn't know that. You know, I never even looked at it like that. And the same thing with me. I have taught her things and she's like, wow, nobody ever said that to me. Or nobody ever taught me that, you know.
One thing I've learned about what you said, that's a great point you made, is because a lot of times it's not what we taught was wrong. We just didn't learn enough of what was right.
I got you.
And somebody else comes in with another layer and another level of what was right.
Yeah.
And so it enlightens us. So we so satisfied with what we thought was, okay,
that's right.
this is the climax, the summit, you know, of what right is or what, you know, life is about.
Yeah.
And they said, no, look at it from this perspective
That's
also.
right. That's right. Yeah. Change the way you look at things.
Change the way
sometimes.
you look at things. Absolutely.
Yeah. Man, I had another brother on the podcast and he was saying that he was asking me about, you know, raising my kids, that I feel like I put enough into them. And I told him when I look back on it, when I look back on raising my children, I was busy trying to teach them this. A lot of things I forgot to teach them. Like it just wasn't relevant in that moment or in that time. And now that I look back, I say, man, I never taught my kids that. I never showed them that. I never, you know, because I was so busy trying to give them what they needed.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you do fall short sometimes, man. But it works out, man.
It does.
So, Kev, the way that you were raised, man, you got children?
I do.
Okay. Were there any similarities on the way that you raised your children and the way that you was raised?
Well, because I was in the military when my daughter was born.
Okay.
And then I left home, you know, for a while as well for some other stuff. But I wasn't there to raise. Actually, her mother did an amazing job with my daughter. And I tell her that.
I like that.
It's funny because my daughter is really a strong young woman.
Okay.
She's married, you know, great son-in-law, and but we have a great relationship,
Okay.
and it's knit together by God. It's funny, her mother raised her, but she has a lot of similarities that come from me, a lot of character traits, strength. You know, she's firm in some areas. She's very tender, and she's very wise also.
Okay. DNA, man. You can't get away from it, bro.
Well, she inherited that. She learned that from her mother also, but I believe, it's a lot of DNA in there as well.
That, man, the traits of your it doesn't matter if your parents are around or not, man. Some things that your parents have, they're just gonna be in you.
I could believe that.
They're
Absolutely.
just gonna be in you, man.
Absolutely.
You know. So, and those are good traits to have.
Definitely.
I guess. I feel like my kids got some of my bad traits too.
That tends to happen.
Yeah. Sometimes my wife is fussing about something, you know, with my sons. You know, she's, you know, fussing with them about something, and I just be quiet because I'm like, yeah, I know where they got that from. I know exactly why they made that decision. They got that from me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel that, man.
My father used to make a statement, old school. He said, "Boy, I wrote the book you reading."
There you go. Pops was right too.
He knew the whole blueprint.
He had
man.
been through it. The whole playbook. He already been through it.
Yeah,
So
man.
enough, man. Hey, Kev, which role do you believe come easier to you, man? Being a father or being a husband?
Wow. So I haven't been a husband yet.
Okay.
So clearly being a father. However, I would say this: through the years of growth and development, I would say I do have husband characteristics being developed in me.
Okay.
Because I'm a protector. I love to provide.
Okay.
And I learned something about protecting, though. Quite often, what we learn about protecting is about protecting from the exterior, things coming from the outside in. But for me, the Lord showed me, and I learned this recently, is also protecting them from the enemy that's inside.
Wow.
So I have to learn, if I'm going to protect them from the evil that's outside, I have to protect them from the evil that's inside. So that means if there's anything in me that needs to be changed, I want them to be protected from that also.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
I like that, man. For sure, bro.
Yeah.
Protect them from the inside out and the outside in. Yeah.
So there's an enemy outside, but there's also an enemy within.
Yes, it
And
is.
quite often, the enemy within is worse than the enemy outside.
For sure.
Because if we don't deal with things like generational trauma and things like that in our lives, then we become the enemy within that we have to protect them from also.
For sure, because it controls the way that you feel and the way that you think.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
And that could be dangerous.
That could be more dangerous than the enemy outside.
Yeah. I totally agree,
and
man.
then we're compromising our whole role as protectors when we do that, because we keep telling them what's out there, but we're not taking care of what's on the inside.
For sure. For sure. You got a point there, man. So with that being said, man, talking about providing and protecting, which one of those roles come easier to you? Providing or protecting?
They're both kind of parallel for me. However, I would say protecting. I love provision. I love that because provision is necessary.
Okay.
However, I think protecting right now is easier. But I believe as things evolve, it will probably be whatever was needed for the moment. Whatever's needed for the moment. Do I need to be a protector? I can be both. We're supposed to be both. I think both of those are inherent traits.
Gotcha.
But however, it's what's needed for the moment. Do I need to protect you now, or I need to provide for you now?
For sure. So sometimes those protecting and providing carries a little more weight depending on the circumstance.
Depending on the circumstance.
Yeah.
What do you need right now?
Yeah.
I don't need you to be my protector, but I need you to provide. And vice versa.
Hey, bro, thinking about that, man, I remember when my daughter started driving, right? She was getting older. She turned 16, got a driver's license, started driving. And she was, I was thinking about how my role was changing in her life. And it was changing fast, right? And I wasn't ready for it.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for it.
Yeah.
I still wanted her to look at me and be like, Dad, can you help? Well, she didn't need me to help.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She knew how to drive. She khu how to get herself to where she needed to go. And,
Right.
So
right.
it
That's a
went
good
from,
point.
It went from the constant help to like, a light came on in my car. That can you look at my car because the check engine light came on.
Right.
That was a huge transition for me, bro.
I'm sure it can be.
That was huge,
it can be.
man.
Yeah.
But
you're always dad, but now I need you to be dad when I need you to be.
There you go. There you go. I agree with you 100%, man. Sure enough, man. Hey, Kev, how do you find a balance in life, man? Now, when it comes to your spiritual growth, your mental growth, your physical growth, all of that, how do you keep a balance with that?
It's something you have to stay focused on.
Okay.
And have to prioritize what's most important at that time.
Now, do you do a good job with it?
Not all the time.
Okay.
Not all the time. Most of the time, I would say, but not all the time.
I got you.
I think I have areas that I'm out of balance in because of some, there's some things I was doing, for a few years. I was real focused on that.
Okay.
But then what happened was that area of my life outgrew another area of my life.
Yeah.
So now I have to develop that area of my life, and I have to keep, like, on a day-to-day basis, okay, how much time do I spend doing this? How much time do I spend doing that?
Okay.
All of them are important. But how much time am I going to invest in it? And I don't always do a great job at that.
For sure, man. I think that's a challenge for a lot of people, man.
Yeah.
Balancing life it could be interesting. I'll say that. It could be interesting when you're trying to balance life, man.
Yeah.
Sure enough, man.
I mean, so how do you find balance in life?
Man, that's what I was just thinking about. I was just thinking about, how do I find balance, man? I feel like if I do focus on one thing, then I'm lacking somewhere else. You know, whatever you feed the most is gonna grow the most.
No question.
So
no question.
Yeah. So yeah. So it's challenging, man. It's definitely challenging. I guess I have to keep my ears open and to what's going on around me. Listening to my wife, listening to my children, listening to my boss. Listening to and all of these people around you, because you have a common interest with all of these people around you. Listening to them, I think they'll let you know where you need to hit the gas at and where you need to hit the brake at. So you can have some kind of balance.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because I could go to work and talk to my wife all day on the phone, right? We communicating, we discussing life situations, we discussing the household stuff, which is great for my marriage. But I ain't doing no work. My boss is saying, "Hey, bro, when you gonna do some work?"
Yeah.
So that balance is it could be interesting, man.
Absolutely.
I definitely agree with that, man. So Kev, as you do grow and find some balance in your life, are there some people or some relationships that you have to leave behind?
Without a doubt.
Man, talk to me about that, bro. How does that happen and how does it feel?
Well, it becomes easier.
Okay.
As you grow, however, it doesn't mean it's easy altogether, but it becomes easier.
Okay.
Because when I'm now, the place in life I am now, thankfully, I'm focused on some things I want to get done.
Gotcha.
Everybody's not going to see your dream. Everybody's not going to see your vision. And that doesn't mean that they're malicious in their intent. It doesn't mean that they're, they're not necessarily, they're your opposite per se.
Yeah.
But it means that they just don't see what you see.
They don't see it.
And therefore, you have to continue to move forward. I believe there's safety in the multitude of counsels. Like you talk about, you listen to your wife, your supervisor, your boss, or whatever. However, you got to know what you want, what's inside of you, and what's big inside of you, and you have to go after it.
Yeah.
So in terms of like my own spiritual growth, yes, there were some things I had to leave behind.
Okay.
Some people I had to leave behind.
Okay.
And thankfully, I didn't have to make any announcements for it to occur.
Gotcha.
I just had to do it. And I think as you move forward, your momentum and your forward progress absolutely shows them that there's a separation. Now, you may get some time be like, what's up, where you at, what you doing?
Yeah.
I'm doing this.
Some kind of communication.
Yeah, but when you find out is you're separating from them and what they're speaking to and where you're speaking from and where they're speaking to, and not resonate with each other.
That's right, man.
So the language is different, the air is different, the atmosphere is different from when you start leaving people because the conversations are sometimes different.
Yeah, for sure, man. And to me, that becomes a hard pill to swallow sometimes.
It's not always easy.
Because some of those people that you have to leave behind, you really rock with them, man.
For a good season, too.
Yeah, for a good season.
Yeah.
But I guess that's one thing, man, that you have to take into consideration is they're there for a season.
They're there for a season and for a reason. And the thing is, soul ties is something that's hard to break.
Okay.
So emotional marriages and emotional engagements that we have sometimes, they're not always easy to break.
Okay.
That's my boy, man. That was fun to, whatever.
Yeah.
But your boy's not, I'll be honest with you, and I don't want to sound real super spiritual. There are some relationship God just separated me from.
Yeah.
And he just don't want to allow me to see him.
Yeah.
That's
right.
And me and my craziness, be like, what old boy doing?
Yeah.
And
sometimes you want to go back and get it. But God said, man, I done pulled you away from that.
Away from that.
Yeah.
So why are you even pursuing what I've already separated you from, and I praise God for that I had to learn. If they're not around me, they're not around me for a reason.
Yes. Man, I heard a brother talking one time about entertaining old relationships, right? And he made it sound so simple because he said old relationships are old relationships for a reason, right? Why are you entertaining old relationships?
Absolutely.
And but it's just something, it's a part of us that sometimes you want to go back to what you know or go back to what was normal, what was normal to you, or for different reasons. Man.
Absolutely.
And sometimes it fills a void in your life too. Sometimes you have a little void in your life from you're trying to grow, you're trying to get to this area, but you still have a void, and you say, well, if I entertain that old relationship, I know that'll fill that void.
I can see that happening, but that's a dangerous void to try to fill.
That is
That's a dangerous
bro.
place to go to, man, because let me ask you this. Do you sometimes feel in doing so, because of whatever levels of modicums of success you have in life, do you feel like you owe them something?
Not that I owe them, not that I owe relationships anything, but I struggle with, I want to take everybody with me. Yeah. Like
yeah.
Whatever I'm experiencing, I want them to experience the same thing.
But they're not there where you are mentally to go there.
That's correct.
Everybody can't live in your
That's
space.
correct.
Everybody can't live in your air.
Yeah, and even some people, their spirit ain't even right enough to be with you. Their spirit is for them to be on another ball field.
True that.
Like they can't even be on the field with you.
True that.
But for some reason you like them, you have a good vibe with them, and you're like, no, man, I want to bring them over here on my field.
But they ain't ready yet, man.
Yeah, and they don't belong there.
They don't belong there, no.
Yeah, for sure. Because you out of place sometimes. Like we talking about growing up, and so many times, and then as men, we convert back to our childhood sometimes, right? We go back to being boys sometimes, where when you're around certain people, like you feel weird, right? You shouldn't even be there. You're like, I shouldn't even be here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your parents used to tell you that, hey, stop hanging out with them people. That they not for you.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
They not where you need to be at.
Absolutely.
And you felt that little bit of whatever that was that your parents were saying. You said, hey, my parents right. I do feel a little off when I'm over here with these people, right?
Yeah.
But then as men, sometimes we get in those same holes. We go down those same rabbit holes as men.
Yeah.
Where we know people are bad for us, or we shouldn't be over there, or bad things happen when we're with certain people. But certain part of us say, I still want to hang out with them. So, but those are things that you learn, man. Those are things you learn and I feel like with maturity, as you mature, you get to that place where you say, okay, God done pulled me out of that situation. I'm not going back in that situation.
Don't go back.
It's like you said, that could get dangerous, bro.
It could be very dangerous.
Yeah. All facts, man. All facts. Hey, Kev, do you know what your greatest character flaw is?
Yeah.
Do you?
I do. I think others probably would agree. Yeah. My greatest character flaw, I believe I can kind of pinpoint that.
Okay.
I think, I want